Hi everyone, I'm Echoes and I'm a VTuber, and I'll be going over episode 9 of Mecha-Ude, where we get quite a lot of interesting development for sure, and really interested in what happens next. So yeah, let's get started. So in the beginning of the episode, we get the opening, which I'll skip for now, and then we get the continuation of the battle against Ordela, which is like, the founder and stuff, and a lot of cool ways of how they fight it. So initially, they have trouble getting close to Ordela because shoots humongously powerful lasers. But the good thing is that at least Alma can fly, so I guess that counts. So they try to get close, but they can't break through the crystals that are made of arbitrium. And you can see that his friends are helping on the nearby helicopter. That stuff looks like ice is probably high density arbitrium crystals. Humans Mecha-Udes aren't strong enough to destroy it. Old Seal is on the verge of breaking, but Ordela still isn't fully mobile. Best choice is seal it again with Alma's power. The ring was originally created from Alma. Interesting. If his arbitrium can be poured into it, it could possibly seal it again. If we're not after Ordela, we're after the ring. Okay, so they're after the ring. That makes sense. Be careful, I don't think it has blind spots. So it's because it has, I guess, an all-seeing eye that can see in all directions, I suppose. And it's like, you can see it's like, are you ready? It's like, yep. They try to get close, but they can't because it keeps shooting at them and the crystals, of course. Attacking anything that gets close enough as sheer reflex. Kind of like an animal. Close range, you have to deal with the crystals. Long range, you have to deal with the lasers. Kind of hard to deal with. And then he asks if Aki could help him out. So they use Tus to help as a distraction in her gun mode. And Aki is helping support her by helping mitigate the recoil of the gun, which is a pretty cool way of support for sure. Literal support. So here Tus is shooting with her gun. And then after they shoot it, Ordela turns around. And then the other two use their shields to block the lasers. And then you can see that Carl's using the opportunity to get closer. And you can see he is able to hit the ring. But it's like, they think it works for a bit, but it doesn't work. It's not enough, and then it keeps shooting him lasers again. So now they try again. But now it looks like Jun is helping out too. It's like, and you could tell it's like, are you feeling okay? It's like, you don't have to worry about it because I'm here now. I'll rip him apart. And he's like, weren't you weakened after the fight with Amaryllis? And he's like, that's my prey. He's like, what the hell is that for? Oh my god. You don't have the time to fight now. You can see that Jun is able to break the crystals, which is pretty cool. And you can see that he asks him to destroy the crystals. And then he explains his new version of his Mecha-Ude, which is initially called Ouroboros. But its real name is actually, what's the real name? Asclepius, I believe. Asclepius was a Greek god of medicine, if I can remember correctly. So it's an interesting name, especially with it being green, which is usually related to medicine. And also, related to Ouroboros, probably to some extent too. Not sure why exactly. But regardless, it's interesting because it, interesting to use a medicine-related name, Mecha-Ude, for a person who had medical needs. And he mentions how it can control any type of arbitrium because it's an artificial one. It's not a real Mecha-Ude because it doesn't have a will of its own somehow. But they could control it just like the slaved Mecha-Ude for whatever reason. So I can even destroy those arbitrium crystals, which is pretty cool. And then you can see that they're going to work together to seal it with the ring. Monitoring the last battle, I got a plan that could work. When Ouroboros made contact, Ordela got temporarily weaker. You could pin it down with Ouroboros and then have Alma attack. then we could seal it, which is not a bad plan. And then you can see that the two work together to bring down Ordela. You can see here, sorry, go back. Jun uses the chains to bring Ordela physically down. And then you can see that Hikaru's up in the sky trying to pin Ordela down, especially using that crystal. But she keeps shooting lasers, which doesn't help. But it's still a pretty cool attack, using essentially a giant version of its punch, going vertically down to get some extra momentum. Pretty cool how big it becomes. It kind of becomes like some sort of crazy looking machine, honestly. I don't know. It's like, it reminds me of a drill, I guess. It doesn't really look like a drill, but... And then he punches through, which is pretty cool. And then they suppress Ordela to a smaller state, which is great. And then they apologize to Jun because they almost killed him. Oop. And then you get the aftermath a bit, where we actually get some more development, where you can see the Arms is like, I don't think we can cover this up. It's too big of an incident. And then you can see Jun goes away because he has to deal with some family issues. And then you can see that this guy's kind of AFK. He's kind of knocked out. And you can see that his brother's here. He's like, oh, don't tell me he's dead. And then Jun confronts his brother. And then you can see that you get some interesting truths here, where he mentions how his brother's being controlled by Amaryllis the entire time. Don't you talk like that in my brother's voice? Todo told me. Do you know, I feel like you can't do anything. This time I'm going to kill you. Like, did you forget what my power is? I'll suck up your arbitrium. And he can't do it because he has more arbitrium than Amaryllis can. Or it's sucking Amaryllis's arbitrium to be exact. It's pretty cool. He's like, are you sure the Kagami group doesn't have anyone to have anything to heal someone after Mecha-Ude is removed? Brother will die. I have bad news for you. I'll rip you out without hurting my brother. As mentioned, his Mecha-Ude is called Amaryllis, which is a god of medicine. So technically, it makes sense thematically too, that his Mecha-Ude can do what Amaryllis couldn't do. And then he rips out Amaryllis, and Amaryllis dies, essentially. And then we get a flashback to when he was learning from Todo about his brother's plan. Plan was that I'd use Ouroboros Amaryllis to silence Ordela. Didn't expect you to steal it, though. Taking it back, and when it's all over, give it back to you. Just like what your brother wanted. It's like, what do you mean? No, what I mean. You're the one who set up that I'd steal Ouroboros himself. So in a way, Todo, did well follow the plan, but also wanted to give his brother a chance. Told this artificial Mecha-Ude in the labs they stopped working on. Couldn't use it to steal the trigger arm. No how do I want this all to happen just like my brother wanted, with me being safe without even know what's going on. So it's not that he hates his brother in this case. It's more like I wish you could have told and trusted me. He wants to destroy Ordela. And then you can see get back to Hikaru. It's like, all I ever promised to get back your memories. Thank you again. Guess it's all over now. And he asks for a favor. But can you help me until I go home? Guess that's another promise. And they do a handshake / pinky promise, which is kind of cute. And then Todo comes and he's like, oh, I need some help now. Hikaru-kun's in danger. And then you see the Arms founder and then Fist. And then you see almost talking. It's like, sorry for leaving you alone so long, but it's okay. I'm a little sad, but it's going to take some time to process the accident of Yakumo's death. Ordela isn't something we could touch. Without it, we should be able to find some way to save our comrades. And then there's more exposition here. It's like, do you know Naohito Kagami, the president of the Kagami group? Kagami's wrote a lot about him. This question involves you. He has been controlled by Amaryllis ever since he became president. And not just him. Amaryllis has been controlling all the heads of the Kagami group for generations. Before Amaryllis took him over, he came up with a plan. So this is when his father was controlled by Amaryllis, and then he realizes that starting a century ago, the heads of the family all started dying sooner. Records indicate that she arises with the new head of the family, and and the host eventually weakens and dies. And he's worried that Jun will have to take over because they're siblings, right? So if the older brother dies, then Jun will have to be the next head of the family. In other words, it won't just... And then he tries to make a... You can see here this from this chart. You have Ordela, Amaryllis, and then Ouroboros. Or sorry, Acephalus. Sorry. Acephalus, yeah. So he's trying to make a plan to free the Kagami group. I can control Arbitrum at will this way. And with that, I can even defeat them. I can heal Jun's Arbitrum deficiency. And then he does all this to save himself and his brother. Then Todo says, like, oh, Jun's a lot stronger than you think. You sure you want to do this all by yourself? And see Jun's like here waiting for his brother to wake up. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I put you in danger. If only my plan had been more perfect. And then he's like, I'm mad because you treated me like a brother, me like a child just because I'm your little brother. You used to be playing you never asked me about. Not some poor little brother that needs you to save me. And then he remembers what Todo said. Just you wait. Someday I'll surpass you and become the president. But then we realize that there's some important thing left over. It's kind of interesting. He's in like, is there more? And he's like, oh, here it gets real. Is there more? Todo didn't tell you the most important thing. So, and then they get more explanation. He's like, oh, so Amaryllis was behind everything the Kagami group did? No, that's not true. Someone else was the true mastermind. I'm sorry. On this pod, it becomes somewhat of a habit for me. It's kind of funny, kind of like a fourth wall break. The one you must defeat is... And then you see that the founder of ARMS shoots a shackle onto Alma for some reason. And then he kind of points his cane at him for some reason. And you get a reveal of who he is. He's actually Yakumo for some reason. Because I initially thought that he was technically he was supposed to be the original Kagami brother. But if you think about it, if they said all the heads died eventually because they're controlled by Amaryllis, then I guess it makes more sense for him to actually be Yakumo the entire time. Only weird thing is that he has that weird glowy blue eye thingy. I don't know. The question is that because of Fist or because of Ordela? And also, why is he behind everything? We still don't have the explanation yet. So I'm kind of intrigued about why he's doing all this stuff. Like, why are they doing this crazy plan for like 100 years? Controlling Kagami group through Amaryllis, constantly fighting with them. I don't know. I don't know what his goal is. So I think we'll figure that out next episode. And I think they're trying to get to the Mecha-Ude world. I don't know. And I don't understand what his plans are, because technically, if you think about it, if Yakumo was behind everything, then why did he have to go so far to get Alma specifically? Or is Alma just the key to everything? Could honestly just be that, to be honest. So, yeah. Overall, a good episode. I think I'm interested in what happens next. I hope we learn more maybe about the Mecha-Ude world. Or maybe we get some more backstory we haven't learned about yet. In general, like, overall, very productive episode. We get defeating Ordela, resolution involving Jun and his brother. We learn about Acephalus, the fake Mecha-Ude, not fake, artificial Mecha-Ude. And then we also get, what's it called? And then we get the reveal of Yakumo at the end. So yeah, interesting stuff. And yeah, looking forward to next episode. Hopefully we get some more revelations. Hopefully Yakumo speaks more. I guess it makes sense why his name was never revealed until now. He didn't really have a name, so yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. See you guys next time.